If you want to slow down the speed of life, then I have a simple tool that I hope you can use right away. Shalom, my name is Noach, and welcome to my Torah Thoughts channel, where I delve into the areas of Judaism, mental health, and personal growth. I'm a rabbi and psychotherapist who loves to learn and to teach, so I hope that we can dive into something meaningful together here. Anybody who knows me in my personal life knows that I don't walk very normally. Aside from the fact that maybe I'm not such a normal person, I don't walk very normally. I walk on my toes. This is something that I've done since the beginning of my walking career. And my parents spoke to my pediatrician, who at the time advised them, don't worry, this is going to be a phase and he'll get over it naturally. It never happened. And so to this day, I walk on my toes. I'm hopping, I'm bopping. That's how I walk. And as I skate, as I'm a hockey player, when I skate, I run. These are how I am known. This is how I am known to people in terms of how I use my feet. But today I want to talk to you about something else. I want to add a third walk, which I've tried to implement as much as possible. And this is actually a Shabbos walk. This is a walking meditation in the Jewish tradition. So this video is called Slow Walking on Shabbat. We're going to go back to some key sources in the Talmud, the oral laws of Judaism. So on this pasuk, on this sentence from the prophet Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah said, "V'chibadato me'asos derachecha." You shall honor Shabbat by not doing your own path, your own way. It's a little bit cryptic, but there's this idea on Shabbat, don't do things the way that you normally do on your way, on your derech. In the Gemara, the way that they choose to interpret that pasuk is to say, Lo yehe chiluchecha shel Shabbos, ki chiluchecha shel chol, that you're walking on Shabbat should not be like you're walking during the week. There's a different way. This idea of a different derech on Shabbat, not going on your own way, is interpreted to be the way that you walk in the world. So how do we walk differently? I think that walking is really a summation about a way of living and a way of being on Shabbos, on the day of rest, that is different than the way of the week. It's a bigger philosophy about time and Shabbos. I saw a beautiful explanation of this in Pnini Halacha, Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, who is a famous posek, Jewish law decisor in Ramat HaSharon in Eretz Yisrael. And he says and discusses it like this. Ha'olam shelanu malei chesronot. The world around us is filled with so much chesronot, so much of something missing. There's a feeling of something missing in the world. And so what do we do to deal with that existential sense of something missing? Sheketei lahashlimam, in order to feel a sense of completeness, b'chol yom osachol anu atzim v'ratzim v'torchim v'amelim. All these different words to say that we're hurrying, we're running, we're toiling, we're laboring. Melachos shanot. We're doing all kinds of labor all week. There's this sense of rush. We're going about our day, our heads are down, we're rushing, we're moving, especially the speed of today on our phone, we're communicating, we're going here, we're going there, boom, 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 get in the car, go, all this energy of rushed and fast. And that's really why the way you walk, it's like you're in your own zone doing your own thing. And that's the kind of change that Yeshayahu, Isaiah the prophet, is telling us to stop doing. Because we're toiling and moving all around at our own pace and our own speed all week. Instead, b'Shabbat, b'Yom HaShabbat, ein lanu yoter tzorech lehechafez. On Shabbat, there's no reason, there's no need to rush. Where are you going? Where do you need to get to? It's time to slow down. Stop that frantic pace of time represented by your walking. You don't need that. And because there's no need to rush around, there's a mitzvah she'amda ruchanitzo. There's a mitzvah to express this kind of spiritual perspective, this sense of not needing to rush. We need to have an expression of that in our physical bodies, which are taken by the torrent of speed of time of the weekday. So what should we do? Tavo lidei bitui, gam bitsurat halicha shetiyeh benachat. We have to start walking benachat, in a restful and calm way. There's nowhere to go. Even when we're going somewhere, let's stop the pace and the frantic movement and change our speed of how we move in the world by walking in a restful and calm way. Try walking calmly and see what happens to you. But we're going to take that even further. How do we walk in a calm way? What is a calm form of walking? So back to the Talmud here. We're basically trying to avoid psi'a gasa, large steps. Think about when you take a large step. When you're in a rush, when you're speed walking, it's boom. I try to see, like, can I get from one crack of the sidewalk to the other. Like, let's go fast or let's run. It's all about the strides. It's moving at the fast paced speed. So how do we take this idea of not taking large steps further? So a very simple advice comes from one of the most beautiful songs that we sing every Friday night that really brings us into the energy, soul, spirit, and consciousness of Shabbos. One of my favorite lines on this song is actually a response. He clearly knew, the author of this song, this poem, this beautiful shir, clearly knew that in the Gemara it talks about psiak gasa, large steps, avoiding large steps. So what does the author of the Kol Mekadesh song say? Menachem ibn Saruk of the 10th century. He says, Pusimbo psiaktana. Take that franticness, that large steps. When you're taking large steps, it's about running. It's about the speed. It's about getting somewhere, needing to be at a certain place at a certain time, and all of what that represents about my agenda. And instead, the destination is where you are, being in the place that you are by taking psiaktana, short steps. Short steps. When you take a short step, it's indicating that the walk is the point. The being is the point. The presence is the point. You can go on a walk and just talk to Hashem and express gratitude for the beautiful things in your life. You can walk with someone special in your life, a loved one, whatever it is, whether it's a minute, 10 minutes, an hour. So what you should really do, if you can, however much you can do it for, however long you can do it for, whether there's something that you designate, like I like to go for short step walks Friday night after the meal, just to decompress, the racing mind slowing down, having more clarity, more yishuv hadat, connection to a calmer place within me, a sense of restfulness. Steps can help you get there. It's a physical change in intensity that actually affects the mind, the heart, and the spirit, that slows life, that slows things down and gives you the invitation to just be in the presence. You can time it with slow breathing. You can put your hands behind your back, whatever is comfortable for you, but just let yourself, shoulders just to drop, just walk slowly. And this is really one spiritual practice that I would highly recommend on Shabbat. You can try it during the week, but really on Shabbat to enter into that consciousness, a slow walk, a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can do. Make it some sort of part of your structure. And of course, the more you do it, the more you'll feel the calming effects. And hopefully that will give you a lot more boost when you get back into that craziness of the rutzim, of the running of the week. Thank you. And I hope this helped. I hope this tool is meaningful. And please share it if you found it helpful.